Hi there. Can you see the sky behind me? I just walked out of my front door and the sun's gone in. How typical. So I'm on my way down to the riverbank, and I'm going to be telling you a story. But I thought on the way down that I'd talk to you a little bit about what being a witch means to me. So first of all, I think of being a witch as being part of the cycle of things, the way that nature works. So I like to try and live my life with the wheel of the year rather than against it. So when there's strawberries abundant, that's when I eat them. Whereas now, when it's autumn and we're bringing in the last of the harvest, all the apples, the very last of the blackberries, those are the kind of things that I like to eat. So another way of being part of nature and part of the way that the world works and the wheel turns is to appreciate, respect and love all living things, whether they're plants or trees or animals or birds or other human beings. In my words and deeds, I try to show respect where respect is due. I also try and give back. So, for instance, we took down the branch of one of the trees down here on the riverbank. It was really low and it wasn't allowing light to come down to the forest floor. So we took that branch out, but at the same time we planted more trees. I'm just coming down onto the riverbank now, and one of the trees that we've planted quite abundantly down here is willow. The riverbank's really soggy. The river, which you can probably hear now, rushes by, carving its path, not necessarily where the old river was before. And the sturdier we can make the riverbank, the more that the trees and plants and animals and birds that live on it will have a home to be able to do that. It's already changed the course. We've where we've planted some willow up at this end, we've stabilised a new little island, but on the absolute opposite bank, the river had brought down a tree and undermined a fence. So apart from being a witch, as in being part of nature, I also live my life in the moment. So I try not to get too hung up on the past or to think too much about what might be in the future, but I try to keep my thoughts on the present. I try not to have too many expectations of what might happen, rather concentrating on what is. This helps not miss those moments. The moments that when we're so busy with other aspects of our lives, all the emails, all the phone calls, all the demands on our time, all the passwords, all the constant checking, it fills our minds with other things rather than leaving space for the magic. So especially when I come down here on the riverbank, I try and clear my mind and be present. It might be that I spot a caterpillar or an unusual spider or a ladybird, or I'll see the jay mum trying to teach her child how to fly along the riverbank trees and use it as a corridor. It's taking the time. So that's a big part of magic for me. Another part of my magic is to celebrate the Sabbats and some of the Esbats. I don't necessarily celebrate all the latter, but I am very aware of them. If you know me well, you know that I quite often change my earrings. I have different earrings for different times of the month, and that keeps me in tune with what's going on. Once again, living my life with the waxing and waning of the moon, with the turn of the planet. Do I do many spells? No. A lot of my magic is about praising and saying thank you and being truly grateful for how blessed I am. I do spells sometimes. I've done quite a few healing spells for other people. I very rarely use magic to ask for things for myself. Just recently I've started doing that a little bit more. If any of you saw my posts about Mabon or are on my newsletter list, you'll see that on my new altar is a money tree. For the first time, I felt able to ask for what I deserve. I work hard, and so does my partner, and we really want to be able to finish what we're doing here in Wales so that we can open up this space to share it with other people. The other part of me that's a witch is that urge and desire to help and support and share and just to be there for people. Maybe that wise woman way of just taking someone a cake because you know they're feeling low, or just being there for them, having a conversation, making a blend of aromatherapy oils that you know will ease someone's aching neck. All the giving I do as a witch is done without thought of return. That's important to me. I don't give because I expect to be given back. It's not that sort of giving. I know it will come back, because that is the way of things. So that's me, and me being a witch. Do I belong to a coven? No, I don't. I've done most of my magic on my own, but on occasions I have shared with other people, and it's been brilliant. All the best kinds of magic are the ones where you spent all week sending emails saying, can we use this poem? I really like these words. Did you see that write-up that so-and-so wrote? And then all those pieces of paper come together, and you go out with your torch and your basket full of bits that you want to use and things that you want to say thank you for or talk about or burn because you no longer need them. And then you get out there and you've set the circle and you're just about to start, and the torch goes out and you can't see what you're doing, and you've got to open the circle and you've got to go back indoors, you've got to find another torch. But it doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, any magic that's done does not require complicated words. It doesn't require big and in-your-face rituals. It doesn't necessarily require all the regalia and the headdresses. The most important thing is what's going on in your heart. If your intent is true, that pot of kitchen salt that's created you a sacred, safe space to work, and that tea light candle in the jam jar that you've just scrubbed the label off will do the trick. So that's me, and that's my craft. And where does the magic come into my life? It's in my life always, all the time. When I'm teaching dance, when I'm creating a safe space for women to express themselves in American tribal style belly dance, or whether I'm holding a space for them to clear their chakras and find space for new stories while they abandon old ones in awaken belly dance. My magic is with me when I'm writing, when I'm creating new stories, when I'm sharing my love for a good story and a strong woman with people who read my books. My magic is with me when I stroke my cat. My magic is with me when I stand in the sea on Christmas Day at Borth Beach and my toes get so cold I can't feel them. My magic is with me when I email my children or I speak to them on the phone. Magic is with me all the time. I am a witch, that's who I am. I am a wise woman and a goddess. As is every female on the planet, if they choose to embrace that side of themselves. The craft is about being in tune, but not just with the world around you, but with yourself. So that's it. That's me. That's Wendy Woo Witch. And the Wendy Woo was a name given to me by my dad, the most important man in my life for more years than I can remember. And it's 10 years ago since his passing. But his is the first face I bring to mind every morning. And I wish him a good morning. He called me Wendy Woo, and in his honour, I use that. It's who I am. It's the real me. And I hope you've enjoyed hearing about me and my magic today. I'm just off to find another space and warm up my hands on my hot drink, and then I'm going to read you a story. Bye for now. Bright blessings.